guys, this is Lo from the Polished Edge and OGM. So today I'm out here in Galing, Selangor at one of our favorite campsites. We're having a pretty good time, and I thought that, you know what, this is a good time to talk about one of my favorite times. One that I just got from a company that I have absolute trust in their manufacturing process and their steel selection. That brand is TRC. This is the knife. Alright, so you can actually see a little bit of condensation on here. I have been using this, and there's a little bit of rust spots on it. I'm not sure if that turns up if it focuses, but there's a bit of rust spots on here. I was actually chopping some wood with it yesterday, and I did not clean off any of the sap or any of the water, and there are just a little bit of rust spots. These will come right out. If you get like slits, just clean it right off. On Elmax will come right off. So let's talk a little bit about the knife. Again, this is from TRC. Right? The founder's name is Andres Tricius. I believe TRC is supposed to be short for his name Tricius. And so this comes in 6.5 mm or a 1/4 inch thick Elmax. If I'm not mistaken, this is about 58 to 59 HRC if I'm not mistaken, but it's definitely below 60 HRC. It's designed to be one of those, you know, end of the world survivors where you know that it's going to be able to take a heck of a beating and you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's talk about Elmax for a while before we go into a bit of a demonstration. Elmax is a stainless steel. However, it's on the border of being a stainless steel. After you do the heat treating and everything, you've got just enough, about 14% of chromium left in solution in order to keep it stainless. One thing we also know is it's cryogenically treated during the heat treating process. Actually, it happens during the tempering process. What does cryo treatment do to the knife? First of all, it ensures that all the remaining austenite converts into martensite, hardened martensite. All right. What that also does is it ensures that there's an increased amount of chromium carbide. Whatever is available, whatever chromium is available to convert into carbon, that will happen as well. You get a finer grain structure, and you get a bit of stress relief. In the event that there are any weaknesses in the steel, that will be reduced. So having cryo treatment is actually quite desirable. And I know that TRC actually has a very good heat treating process. I've used several types of Elmax in the past. One was also a TRC. That one was about 61 HRC. Another one was from CT. Now, they might be the same steel. I think CT was at about 60 HRC. The edge retention was quite obviously different, alright, and I will attest that to the heat treating that TRC actually does on their knives. So this one's below 60, and the reason for that is so that we get a significantly tougher blade. Now pair that with the fact that it's thick, this knife is going to be able to survive most passes that we want to put it through. Okay, so again, it comes with a nice comfortable Mikana handle. The spine's all crowned, so it's nice and comfortable. The jimping's not too crazy. There's a nice choil in the front here for us to do some fine work, which I'll demonstrate a bit. The edge, when it comes from factory, I tested it, I think it was about 180 something on the best score, which is pretty darn impressive, right? It's impressive, first of all, because most companies you'll get at like above 200, 300 on the best scale. This one came below that. Second, it's thick. All right, you want a good best score? Get a thin blade. You might be able to get a good best score on thick blade as well, but it's not going to be easy. And trust me, I've tried. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a big old stick here. I'm going to chop through it. Okay, I'm just going to stand up here for a while. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop through it first. Okay, I'm going to remove my leg in a bit. I want to cut my leg off and chop the wood, and then we'll try and baton through it and do some feather sticks just to see how it fares, okay? seem to have moved from the bottom up, and yeah, it seems like I'm starting from scratch again, but that's all right. Alright, so at this point, you can see kind of wobble, just break it. Okay? So we've managed to cut this piece of wood. Now there's something I want to mention, okay? We are in Malaysia, okay? This is not some North American forest or jungle. The wood here is really dense. This is not the densest wood, but it's still pretty dense. I've tried pine. The only wood that's really easy for us to get in here that's not really available here is pine. And I think there's pine in the North American countries. So it's a good way for us to set like a kind of like a standard. Anyway, so this is actually fairly dense. When it's dense and it's hard, it's really hard for you to get through it, but we managed no problem. I say this is not the densest because I've actually faced even denser woods, and this one's still okay. Right, this one's manageable. There are some which aren't as dense, but this one's a little bit. I put it somewhere in between. Anyway, let's try and baton it. It's a long stick, right? But it's what I have on hand right now. I'm not going to use this as the baton because it's too long. So what I cut off, this will be the baton, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that wasn't too hard. Again, it's not the densest steel, but you're gonna cut like this, be sure not to hit the stone. I didn't, don't worry. So I'm gonna baton this again, not demonstrate anything, just to make it a little bit more manageable. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of feather sticking, okay, just to see how well we can do fine tasks. Now the thing is, this is a thick blade. That's why it excels at batoning. It's a heavy, front heavy blade. It's a very front heavy blade. That's why it's decent at chopping. It's not long enough to be a good chopper, but it's thick. It's not supposed to carve well, but we'll see, okay? Alright, so it's okay, it's pretty decent. So it is not the best slicer, but it fares pretty well. You know, there's a little bit more resistance, and because of how thick it is, before we can let the edge catch the wood, it's actually already at quite high an angle. So when we go into it, it tends to want to dig deep, which is why the shavings are actually quite thick. Alright, I've done and seen thinner feather sticks than that. Alright, but this is not too shabby. This will definitely start a fire. Okay? I'm gonna try carve it in the other direction now. So that's not too bad. Okay. I've definitely put this knife through its paces. It needs a nice cleaning and a nice sharpening now. I have not sharpened this blade yet. I would actually refine it all the way up to a nice mirror. Elmax tends to perform, at least in my opinion, a little bit better at that. And I only do, not say I only do, but more often than not, the tasks that I do are going to be push cut or chopping, in which case a nice mirror will befit this blade very well. I did not feel any hot spots when I was using it. I did feel a little bit fatigued in my thumb, which is normal, and it's not something that's too overly concerning, okay? But it's actually a very comfortable blade. If there was a piece of critique that I would give, and again, we want to be absolutely objective here. We want to be honest with what we're doing. So if there's only one thing that would change about it, first of all, I would make it a little bit thinner. 5.5, 6, still a little bit high, but 5.5 millimeters would be perfect. And also I'd have it a little bit harder. I know a sub 60 will make the blade really tough. But this is why I always tell people, if I wanted a tough blade, I'll use a steel that is known for being tough. AEBL, for example, will be tougher than Elmax. Probably something about a 60, 61 RC. Yes, I prefer harder steel, but I don't want to go overboard because I really don't want to have to worry about the knife breaking up on me. Anyway, again, this is the TRC Apocalypse. Alright, this is one of my most favorite blades. I'm so happy and so proud to have one of these. And Andres and team, you guys do an amazing job. Keep it up. I love your heat treats. You guys do an amazing job on that. I have absolute full confidence and faith in your heat treat. Hey guys, so I just got back home and I've got a knife here. Thought I'd do a little bit of an after action report. You know, trying to slice some paper just to see how the edge kind of fared. We know it'll still carve, we know it'll still cut, we know it'll still chop, but we just want to see how that really fine edge held up. So I've already taken a look at the blade, and I've not done anything to it other than taking some methylated spirit and spraying it up on this, trying to get rid of all these stains. So you can see that it's kind of orange right here. That is not rust. That's tree sap. I know that because I can run my finger on it and doesn't feel like rust. It does really feel just like tree sap. And all this black markings around it, that's again kind of like a patina, a forced patina from the tree sap. Now this is expected because again, what cryo does to your steel is it uses up more chromium with the carbon to form more carbides, which leaves less chromium in the steel, which kind of reduces its corrosion resistance by a bit. Now I'm fine with that. I don't mind. I in fact prefer it because I would have better performance. How much? Well, I don't know. But the difference is there. Significant or not? Well, again, I don't know. But I know it's there. Alright, so I've got some paper here. Alright, so I don't have proper test paper. I've got receipts. I'm just going to cut this in half because we're going to do a before and after. A strap. Okay, that's the only strap I have at home here. It's in my wallet. Or my gear, all of my gear and kit is going to be in the shop. And I just could not wait to make this video. So alright, The section that's used the most throughout this entire thing, and the thing is this one part, after the initial video, I actually talked to the groundskeep, and he had this tree branch that he wanted me to take down. It was about this diameter. Chopping into it, first of all, I hit a knot. Second of all, it was redwood, so it was pretty harsh. Okay, so anyway, yeah, let's try and slice some of this. This was, again, the sweet spot, so that's where it's going to see the most amount of wear. So the heel is fine up until the straightaways, and it's still slicing, but I can feel it kind of skip on this section right here. All right, there. We can feel it kind of snag. Let's try just the front. Alright, so that's where, again, that's okay here. Again, slice as well. So it's about here, about 1 inch, just at the belly. Again, that's where the sweet spot's at, so it's kind of expected. What I got here is a strop. Okay, and I don't actually have a platform to put it on, because I normally do it off the edge of the table, but you know, whatever. Let's do it here then. So I always keep this leather strap in my wallet, just in case. It's one of those things, you know, sometimes you're in the move. In fact, the whole table's moving. Sometimes you're in the move and you just need to get a blade sharpened. In fact, I actually have a diamond stone in my wallet, as well as this strap, just in case, you know. The knife guy's got to keep his knife sharp. So I'm not doing anything particularly professional, okay? This is not how I do my sharpening. Alright. Okay, let's just see how that fares. It's actually a lot better. Alright. I can still feel it kind of snag here and there as it goes, but for the most part, I mean, wow. And that was like, I don't know, a minute on a stupid strap. This is chromium oxide, it's not even diamond. So, okay, it's still snagging up there a little bit, but we've got a bit of the edge back. A good strap and some time and a proper platform, not my palm, would probably yield better results. Overall, though, I mean, I'm pretty darn impressed. I'm debating right now. I think all of this looks pretty cool. One side is me, the creative side, which, you know, isn't very dominant. It's like, oh, leave it because it looks so awesome. It looks so actually apocalyptic. The other side of me is, don't be daft. Just get it cleaned. Get it cleaned, get rid of all that gunk, and get back to work. Yes, sir. Alright, anyway, so that's a little bit of an after action report. Yeah, catch you guys around. Stay safe, stay sharp.